not quiet, because smiles. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you have received a foldable on your desk. I have shown you how to fold the foldable, where to cut the foldable, and then there were some blanks that we were going to fill in. I asked you to add, under the length section, 1 mile equals blank yards. Now we're going to go over those sections so that we can see what is supposed to be filled in right, so that you have it done correctly, because we wouldn't want it done incorrectly, because that might change our lives for the worse as we move on. So I'll randomly call on people. Evelyn, 1 foot equals how many inches?
12.
12 inches. So in that blank, you should have the number 12. 1 foot equals 12 inches. Owen, 1 yard equals how many feet?
3.
3. So in that blank, you should have 3 feet. Shania, 1 mile equals how many feet?
1,760 feet.
5,280 feet. Good. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. You have these two backwards.
Oh.
You're good. You're good. You're good. It's okay. It's okay. Caroline, 1 mile equals how many yards?
It equals 1,760.
So those are how you should have filled in the length portion of customary measurement. Make sure yours are filled in correctly, please. Now we move on to mass or weight. Mass or weight, as you've learned in science. As you've learned in science. Andres, 1 pound equals how many ounces?
16.
16 ounces.
Yep.
And Jabril, 1 ton equals how many pounds?
20.
2,000. Those are the things you're required to know in the customary system for mass or weight. And then we have liquid volume. It's liquid volume because it's how much liquid would be held. There's volume that a rectangular prism or cone, or how much that would hold. Suitcase, tissue box, that kind of thing. Liquid volume. Let's go here. Cam, 1 cup equals how many ounces? 8 ounces. Hunter, 1 pint equals how many cups?
2.
2. Hunter, 1, or not Hunter, sorry. Natalie, 1 quart equals how many pints? 2. And Victoria, 1 gallon equals how many quarts? 4 quarts.
Good job.
So that is how your foldable should be filled in. The inside of your foldable should look like that. Please make sure that it does. Now tests, you have access to a formula chart. It's in the back of your book. Some tests you'll find it already in there. So that'll be easy. I could just stop right here and you should be able to do the customary system. However, I'm not. Let's talk a little bit. See, y'all know my sister, right? Miss Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she taught me, because she's a way better teacher than me. She taught me one time when converting measurements, which works in metric system or customary system, she taught me a little trick. So I'm gonna show it to you. Let's take 3 miles equals blank yards. So now let me ask myself, Reese, which is bigger, miles or yards? Miles are bigger. Miles are greater than yards. So we are changing from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, which means we need to multiply. From miles are bigger than yards, which means we need to multiply. So if you're going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit, that means you multiply. Let's go with Cheyenne. What are we multiplying to figure out how many yards are in 3 miles? 3 times. What? How many yards are in 1 mile? 1,760. So somebody figure that out for me, because I don't want to do it. 1,760 times 3. When you have it, raise your hand so I know who to call on. Good, Mr. Vasquez.
5,280.
5,280. So we went from miles to yards, which means we multiply. But what if we are going with, let's see. Let's go with 120 inches equals blank feet. Now we ask my friend Luna, which is bigger, inches or feet?
Feet.
Feet are bigger. So we're changing what we know is smaller than what we are trying to find out. And I kind of told you already that a fraction is a division problem.
Yeah.
I might have said that 7,280 times. So we're going from inches to feet, which means it's division. From a smaller unit to a bigger unit means you divide. We know the inches. We're going to the feet. That means it's a division problem. And what will we be dividing, Maya?
120 divided by 12.
120 divided by 12. And that equals what, Maya?
10.
10. So 120 inches is going to equal 10 feet. So if you can remember, smaller unit changing to a bigger unit is division, because this is like a fraction sign, or it's like the division sign where you have the dot above and then the, like my head would be the top. Don't see like this. See like this, it'd be. And then this part would be my head, and this part would be my heart. You know how they do the division sign like that? Yeah. So division, head, my heart. And if you're going from a bigger unit, miles, to a smaller unit, feet, then you multiply. If you remember those things and you use the formula chart, it will actually be pretty easy. But let me ask you a question here. God bless you. What if we are changing from 2 yards equals blank inches? Does your paper tell you how many inches are in 1 yard? No, it doesn't. So what do we need to do in order to find out how many inches are in 1 yard? First, we need to change this to feet. So 2 yards, we're going to change to feet first. So 2 yards equals how many feet? Yards to feet. 2 yards equals 6 feet. And then if we change 6 feet equals blank inches, 6 feet equals blank inches. We're going from feet to inches. Well, we know how many inches are in 1 foot. So how would we figure out how many inches are in 6 feet? Ilaria? How many inches are in 1 foot?
1 foot.
1 foot equals how many inches? You have it on that paper you just glued in. I don't want everybody else to hear, but you have it on that paper you just glued in. 1 foot equals?
12 inches.
1 foot equals 12 inches. So 6 feet equals 72 inches. So sometimes, in order to get where we need to go, we need to make a stop. I mean, I can't drive from here to the end of Keller Hicks without having to stop to go potty. So we had to make a stop. In order to get from yards to inches, first we had to figure out how many inches were in a foot, and then we had to change the feet to yards, and then we had to, or the yards to feet. So you may have to take and make it 2 steps. Or you could remember that 1 yard equals, let's see, if 1 foot equals 12, 3 feet would equal 36. So 1 yard we know equals 36 inches. So you could do it kind of that way as well. Ilaria,
I have a question.
I know, that's why I called on you.
So, whenever I ask my mom how long till my dad comes back from work, she says, for example, 8 miles. How long as in time?
Now, how long is it time is 8 miles? It really depends on how fast you're going. I mean, if there's a massive pile up and 32 cars are in the way of those 8 miles, it's going to take longer than if those 8 miles are on the Autobahn and there's no speed limit. That's what I'm talking about. Boom, shakalaka, peace out, God bless, love you, do something kind today, save the bees.